Hey Colin, it's great to see you. I thought I'd make you a video this week to tell you a little bit about what you're going to be doing at home and also so I can show you a few of the things. But first, I hope you had an amazing Christmas and Happy New Year. It's 2021. It's hard to believe, but as Alden and Ellie said, it doesn't really feel any different, Mom. But I hope you guys are doing great, and I can't wait to see you when we talk on Friday. So, some fun things this week that I wanted to give you a heads up about. First of all, we have 2 writing assignments this week because we're doing a short 1-week unit about winter. Next week, we're starting our economics unit. I think Elia might remember this one. It was so fun. This is when we do our Valentine's sale and we learn all about money and how goods and services work, how things are made and sold, and about what supply and demand are. All kinds of amazing things. Anyway, that starts next week. This week, we're doing a short unit about winter. It's my favorite season. January is my birthday month, so I love winter, and there's some awesome poetry about winter. There are great things to learn about winter, and I always love starting back after break, talking about winter with my class before we jump into our next unit. So, happy winter. Last time I saw you, it was still fall. Isn't that crazy? Our 2 writing assignments this week are both about a new planning tool that we're going to be using as writers. So what I want you guys to understand this week is that you're already doing amazing writing, but as you get older at Rivendell, you're going to realize that your teachers are going to start expecting you to plan what you're writing. That sounds kind of like, why bother, right? If I have the ideas in my head, why can't I just start writing? And that works a lot of the time. But we're kicking off this new part of the year by talking about some of the tools we're going to use to start learning how to plan our writing. Our writing's not going to change a whole lot. It's just going to be that we're going to add the step of planning it. And that is why I want to introduce you today, drumroll, to something new called 4 Things from One Thing. I made this sheet many years ago, and I made it look kind of more like fancy a couple years ago, but the kids just kept telling me, we like the clouds. Sometimes they think they're bubbles or clouds. So we're sticking with the clouds. The biggest thing you need to know about this sheet, which says 4 things from one thing, is that when we write, and when great writers write, especially as they write about longer or more complicated things, great writers plan. And this is one way to do it. The biggest bubble here is always our main idea. In class, we've talked a lot about what a main idea is. Main, like Main Street, the most important. The thing where everything else starts, right? So your main idea is a sentence that will go in your biggest bubble. You can use this planning for so many kinds of writing. This week, we're going to practice using this planning sheet for the type of writing where we answer a question. It can sometimes even be opinion writing where you're telling what you think about something. In this case, we're going to try it out by answering a question. In that case, our main idea is going to be our answer to the question that I ask. We're also going to see how we can use this planning sheet to write nonfiction writing. And I can't wait to see which animal you pick. We're starting that this week by learning about the winter weasel. His real name isn't Winter Weasel. He's actually known as a stoat, but he's so cute. I've never seen such a cute animal, and I thought weasels were disgusting, but he's so cute. He is called a stoat, and stoats are sometimes somewhat like Arctic foxes in that this kind of stoat changes its fur color in the winter. Anyway, I'm kind of cheating because I sent you the article and I'm also dropping it off for you. You can read about it yourself. But we're going to learn a little bit about this animal, and then you can use your planning sheet to choose your own animal and write a short article or writing piece about the winter animal that you want to tell us about. Different than a stoat, something else. So that will be what one of the assignments is. I kind of jumped ahead because the first one is actually the one where we're going to use this planning sheet to answer a question. Sorry. And for this writing workshop assignment this week, we're using one of my favorite winter stories called The Mitten. You've probably read it before. You might even own it. I'm dropping you off a copy just in case. But The Mitten, when you look at this, I mean, these are all real animals. It's not like there's a unicorn there or something, right? And mittens are real. But the question I want to ask you all is the mitten fiction or nonfiction? You might know the answer like that already, especially if you've already read it. But you can have fun reading the story, and then in giving me a written response to that question, this is a great way to use our planning sheet. In this kind of writing, when you're answering a question, your main idea is going to be the sentence that answers my question. If my question is the mitten fiction or nonfiction? What do you think you could put in your biggest cloud, your biggest bubble, as your main idea? Remember, I'm asking you, is the mitten fiction or nonfiction? Your answer can be as simple as The Mitten, the title of the book. The Mitten is, and you tell me, is it fiction or nonfiction? Then your other bubbles or clouds are going to be 4 things that explain your main idea. So we always are going to have our main idea, and then the rest of our bubbles are going to be our reasons. Do I want to give just one reason? No. Our goal here is actually to give 4 reasons, 4 things from one thing. I'm telling you my main idea. I'm also going to tell you 4 more things. I only have room for 3. 4 more things that all connect to that main idea. They're reasons. Now, I wrote reason, every card in a different color, because every reason is going to be different. If you ask me, what's your favorite kind of pizza? And my main idea is, my favorite kind of pizza is pepperoni. My first reason is, I love how it's crispy in my mouth. My second reason is, it's crispy. And my third reason is, it's so crispy when I eat it. Those aren't very good reasons. They were all the same. We want each of our reasons that we're giving to tell about our main idea to be different. So you're already amazing at this. Your writing already includes a main idea and many reasons, even examples. All we're doing this week is taking that writing that we're already doing and thinking about planning it first. We're learning how to do this so that when we approach writing later, that we don't just find pouring out of our minds. It's harder. The planning sheet starts to really help us. But we get used to using it with easier things like this. So this week you've got your 2 writing assignments. 2 writing assignments? Yes. You are an amazing writer, and I know you can do it. You also have some new spelling words, and one reason I'm not worried about the 2 writing assignments is that your spelling words are not real hard, but it's a good starting place for what we're going to be doing in the coming weeks. Your words this week are called compound words. Compound words are words that are made up of more than one word. The first one I'm pointing to here is lightweight. lightweight. I hear light and I hear weight, but that means you have to know how to spell light and weight. So compound words are actually really fun, and I think you're going to have a great time with this list this week. But many of them are very easy, so it shouldn't be too much of a challenge. Let's see, besides spelling and writing, poetry, yes. I'm sending you 2 poems, 2 wonderful, wonderful winter poems. One is called Wintertime by Robert Louis Stevenson, and one is called Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. I think you joined us for part of our weather unit last spring when we even memorized this. I think you may have even memorized it. I'm trying to think back. I can't remember, but it will sound familiar if you had joined us already when we were finishing our weather unit last spring in first grade. Anyway, I have sent you both of these, and I have just some easy reading questions for each one, just to make sure that you're thinking carefully about the poems as you read them. For each of those, you're going to do post-it answers. Remember, post-it answers don't have to be long. They can be just thoughts that you're jotting down, or even just a few words. They don't have to be complete sentences. I have 4 quick questions for each of the 2 poems. Then lastly, I need you to take our Chapter 7 math assessment this week. It should be a snap, but remember, be careful. And finally, we're going to be making snowflakes in class this week. I sent you a really fun video in Unit Adventures about how to do that. There are actually lots of ways to do it, and if you have time and want to teach us a second way, I only have time for our class to make them one way. But if you want to record a video teaching us how to make them a second way, please do, and we will make some more your way. I think that's all for this week. I haven't made a video in a while, so I'm sorry that it might not have been totally awesome. But I hope you guys have a great week. Let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you have a great time writing and reading and thinking about winter. All right, see you soon.